Hi everyone, welcome back. So today is the start of my second video in the GTD series, Getting Things Done, and I'm going to today be talking about my review, specifically my weekly review. I mentioned in my last Plan With Me that for some reason I'm allergic to weekly review. For whatever reason that never resonated with me, and so if I started calling it planning, for whatever reason it was a little bit easier for me to get behind and to do. So I'm also, since it is getting close to the beginning of a new month, going to do a little bit of a monthly review as well, so you'll kind of get to see all of it together. I did pull the pages out already, so I've pulled out next week as well as my February. I'm just going to put this back here so I can see my review pages. I'll just show them to you really quick. So this is my weekly routine, which is what we looked at the last time I did a Plan With Me, and then the weekly review. The page before it has the monthly review on it. Usually I start with the weekly review and then flip back to the monthly review and make sure there isn't anything that got forgotten. So the first thing I'm going to do is look through last week, make sure there isn't anything that I forgot to do or didn't get done. I still need to put away clothes, but it's also, today is Saturday, so I still have time to do that. Yeah, I had a headache most of this week, so I didn't get a lot done in the evenings because most of the time I was just trying to survive and going to bed early. So the other thing I need to do is wash delicates. We're in the middle of doing the rest of our laundry, but I'll try and get that done. All right, so do I have, let's see, today I actually cleaned out the fridge. I've done my meal planning. I've actually been hoping to get a lot of stuff done today, but to be perfectly honest, I'm also on call at work, and it's been insane. There's been a lot of water leaks today, so I have not gotten as much done as I hoped because I spent most of my time on the phone with the plumbers and our residents. So thankfully I'm not always on call, and very rarely does a day like this happen, but it is what it is. I didn't get the filming or writing done because I had a headache and it was pretty much all I could do just to get out and run a few errands. Reset the dishwasher today. I still need to wash dishes, but that's already on my list down here. So I don't have anything left that hasn't been transferred, so that's good. It's just those few things. I'm actually going to pull this out of here because I don't want to keep flipping back and forth. All right, so monthly index. I have a new idea, and this could be dangerous. We shall see. What I thought I would do is, I keep saying a year in pixels for people that are doing bullet journals, and I found this Peanuts Planner Co. insert. I actually mentioned which one it was on my Instagram. If you look down below in the description bar, there's actually a link to my Instagram story. If you look for this, I mention which insert it is. But what I am doing is actually filling these in. So this first column is where I was. So there's a key down here, green is home, blue is work. I have a column here for exercise, so I can see how often I exercise. And then I have like a darker pink and a darker blue for traveling. So I traveled on the 18th and 19th for work, so I have that filled in. Other things I think I might use this for, I don't know yet. I have an orange color for the dogs, so I can indicate if they had a vet appointment, if I had their nails trimmed, just so I can keep track of how often things are going on with them. And what I will likely do is actually highlight it and then write in there NT for nail trim, V for vet, and it'll probably be V dash, whichever dog it is, K for Calvin, J for Joey, and then I might actually indicate too when I bathe them, because sometimes I'm like, I just bathed you, why do you smell so bad? And then I can see, oh, it's actually been longer than I thought, so it might be B for baths. I don't know. Like I said, this is still kind of a work in progress. I'm still playing with it, but it's a kind of a combination of my life in pixels for the year, because this actually folds out and it's double-sided, so it does go all the way through December. But then it's also a master monthly index sort of a thing, because I can make notes of, you know, what day I paid my car registration and things like that by just using abbreviations. So it's also an index to my daily pages as well. Adding highlighted items to the monthly index. Today's the 27th. I'm at home. I'll probably need to actually do this later because I don't have all my mild liners with me. Actually, you know what? I'm going to go get them. Okay, I'm back with my mild liners. I have all the other colors in here. The ones I use most often are in this pack. So So the 24th was a Wednesday, so Thursday, Friday I was in the office. I did exercise on Thursday, but not on Friday, because Friday I woke up with a headache and I was over it. So anyway, so that's updated here. Transfer appointments from month to week, so that will be the next thing that I will do. And for that, I'm actually going to pull them off my phone. So this is this week here. Now, if you've watched my last Plan With Me video, I kind of explained how my calendars are laid out. The green is my kind of personal routines. It's time blocked for things like morning routine, workout. The gray is time blocking for my work tasks. So basically I've blocked out my creative blocks. And the purple is kind of my office calendar. And let's see, the yellow is a dance calendar for our local dance community, so I know when dances are coming up. All right, so I think the other thing I mentioned is that next time I print these out, which is actually going to be sometime this weekend, I'm not going to include the exercise because that does tend to change. So I'm going to go through and white these out so I can write over it. Okay, so that is reset. Now, because I didn't finish the workouts at the end of last week, I have the first two that I can fill in. I also mentioned I'm doing the Beachbody size workout right now, so that's actually where I'm getting these from. Okay, so I've got my exercises in, so now I do a lot of flipping back and forth. You would think I would do one day at a time, but I don't. I tend to bulk process things together as in the types of things. So usually I do workouts first, then I come in and do appointments. A phone call with Frank at 3, Tuesday. I'm writing in this accounting team meeting, but I usually every other Tuesday also have a CalRHA legislative call. However, I don't know if that's actually going to happen or not because I wasn't at the last meeting because it happened while I was at the dentist. So I'm meeting with the Elkhorn mayor at 2, and then at night I have a dance at Tango Del Rey. All right, so that's Tuesday. Wednesday, let's see. House cleaner is coming at 8:30. That's it for that day. Thursday is a little bit busier. So I have an endorsement task force meeting, followed by the local legislative committee meeting, followed by state legislative committee, which is what I'm a chair of. Thursday is a day of legislative stuff. Yippee. Friday is actually fairly empty, so that's good. Sunday is just church. I can deal with that. All right. So we have appointments in, so I'll put my phone off to the side. Next up is routine items, so I'll flip back over to put my routine items in. Actually, I usually put headers in at this point too. And I forget if I highlight too quickly, pen smears a little, so. So essentially when I'm doing this, all I'm doing is I'm filling in kind of what I call my hardscape. It's just the basic structure to my week, so I know what time I have to plan around when I have things that come up. So if I have to-dos, if I know that routinely I do certain things on certain days, then if I have a lot of those items, I'm not going to try and fit more to-dos in with that. Instead, I'm going to try and find a different day to do things when I'm maybe not quite as busy. These are my Wednesday things that I'm going to be doing. Then we'll jump over to the weekend, which is the other day that I have routine items. All right, and then Sunday. Now I do sometimes go in and not do things completely in order because, I thought of another task I needed to get done sometime this weekend, so I went ahead and wrote it down before I forget, because sometimes it's important to do things before you forget. So let's pull this weekly review list. So I've transferred appointments, I've listed meals and prep. That's actually here. This is our tentative schedule. I did this earlier today when I did my meal planning. So leftovers on Monday, leftovers are out on Tuesday because I'll be dancing. Wednesday, I'm going to make a roasted chicken. Thursday, potato kielbasa skillet. Friday and Saturday, potentially out, maybe leftovers. We just kind of fend for ourselves on the weekends. And then Sunday, I'll do a simple shepherd's pie. So that's the meal. Reviewing the momentum planner goals and determining big rocks for the week. So that actually has more to do with my work planner, which I will deal with at a later time. Reviewing lists, scheduling tasks, fitness. So I've done that already. I've done my weekly routine, zone cleaning tasks. Let me actually see what zone we're in this week. It's actually the last week of the month, so it'll be zone 5. As you can see, I also need to renew my car registration. I put that reminder in because I need to do that before I leave. Since I do have somebody who comes and cleans the house, this actually more affects my decluttering project. And so I'm mostly concentrating on the living room right now for the zone, and actually my first zone that I want to work on anyway is the living room. So I'll be spending all of my time in living rooms. This was by February 28th. I really want to have decluttered the living room. So that's going to be my sole focus this week. I won't be splitting it. But actually, that being said, I will be splitting it slightly because the first week of the month is also zone 1, which is the entrance and dining room, which ironically our living room and dining room are combined, so hey, we're still in the same zone. So that just means I concentrate on opposite ends of the room is actually all that ends up being. So I don't really have any waiting fors. Clean out inboxes and action email folders. I will do that separately because I'm now thinking I want to set up my email folders for home how I've been setting it up for the office. That's going to be a bigger revision. Update family calendar. I do have a monthly calendar that I write everything out that's like a large item on so that my husband can see if I have like a meeting that starts mid-morning, he might know why I'm not like out the door first thing in the morning, that sort of thing. Or if I have something late night, he knows I won't be home right away. So that's it for the weekly review. If we jump back to the monthly review, I've already migrated the tasks and projects. I'm not going to archive the previous month yet just because it's still kind of sort of in that month. Review next month's calendar and sync with phone. That is something I do need to do, which is why I pulled it out here. So, I know on the first, Essentially, I just know I need to be someplace at 11:30. At all of my meetings that day are in the same location, so I'm not going to bother writing them all down because I have the task force followed by the ledge committees. So there's that. Friday, I don't have much going on. Same thing with that. Let me flip through to the end of the month. I've marked down the hair appointment. I actually need to add okay, there we go. So I needed to add my massage appointment into my phone calendar. I'm not always the best about making sure that I put things into my phone, right? Because I usually schedule that right when I finish my massage and I have my phone turned off, and it takes a while for it to get started up again, so I always write it down in here. The other thing I need to make a note of that don't know why it's not in here. So I'm DJing on Friday. I think I was holding off on putting that in because I didn't know what time I was DJing initially. So usually what I do is I sync both things up so that way everything is the same, because sometimes I write stuff in here, sometimes I write it on my calendar, and that way I know. All right, so that is done. We're still in the first quarter, so I will actually review the quarterly goals when I work in my office planner, review and add to editorial calendar. I think I'm set as far as my editorial calendar goes. I'll just show you really quick. These are all the things I'm trying to get through today because I need to get set up for most of February. And March is pretty much good to go also. So I might have a few things I'll move around, but for the most part, I know kind of where I'm going. Editorial calendar, check. That is done. Bible studies for the month, I don't have to do because I'm doing the same Bible study for the entire year. Scheduling out the zones for the month. So my zones and all of my deco for my pages is usually from the Cocoa Daisy sheets, stickers that come with the planner kit that I get. So let's see what we have to choose from. Because last month they actually had something that was kind of nice. They had all the numbers like 1 through 5 for like week labels, but I don't see that this month. So we can improvise. Usually when that happens, I just grab these little things here and use them instead. All right, so then I'll just write in the numbers. Okay, so we've got zones marked down. Action email folders is mentioned again. I will do that later. I don't really have any notes to clean out, and I don't think I have any other actionable items on here. Double check. I'm looking at my to-do section just since I know it's a little bit off camera right now. Now, something I'm going to mention, I am going to separate out my personal to-dos from my house to-dos, because I know I said, oh, I don't need to, it's all in one spot. But I'm finding that the things that are important, like the fact that I need to pay my car registration, is getting lost in the fact that I need to paint the trim inside our house. So that's probably not a good thing. So I'm going to make this note here because this is very important. And I'm going to jump back to today because I just thought of something else I need to do this weekend. So many things to do, so little time. It's a little scary. Okay, so I'll put that back in. That was everything I have for my monthly review, so I can tuck my pages back in. And let me put these back in the front. Now you'll notice I did put in a binder clip here, and mostly that's because I almost always need this mild liner, and when I have it in this with the rest of my stuff, I'm always looking for it. So I figured rather than always having to try and make sure I have this packet of mild liners with me, I would just attach that one to my planner because I'm literally using it every single day. So it doesn't make sense to have to keep pulling it out and putting it away. So that is my weekly setup for next week. So I have my menu plan done, I have notes about my zones, I have many places that I need to renew my car registration, I have my basic weekly structure set up and ready to go for this next week. I've set up February because we're moving into February. So yeah, I think I'm good to go for the week. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, please leave them in the comments below. I will link the Cocoa Daisy website in case you're interested in their monthly kit. Mild liners I will also put in, and I'll also link my last Plan With You Go video as well in case you're interested in seeing what I said while I was filming that one, because I don't always say the same thing in every single video, so there might be some nugget of information you get out of that one instead of this one. I am going to be filming a Plan As You Go, so that will be the part 3 of this GTD series. It will be the do portion, and that will actually include a little more information about my work bullet journal and how I'm setting that up and how I'm using it daily. Because it is literally a daily planner and I don't have any weeklies in it. I don't need weeklies because I use this. That's where my digital and analog crossover happens. I'm keeping my schedule and everything in here and just basically transferring it down for the day so I don't have to keep flipping back and forth between things on my computer. So that is all going to be covered under the do portion of my GTD series, video number 3. So look for that. I will be, hopefully, I'm planning to film every single day and have kind of a week's worth of this is how I interact with my planner so you can see how that actually works for me. I think I mentioned previously it's also going to be a collaboration video with Antonisha Lachey, so she's going to be doing something very similar in terms of showing you how she plans her week and how she interacts with things. If you have any questions or comments, please leave them in the comments below. If you have any videos that you'd like to see, please leave them there as well. If you haven't already, please subscribe, and I will see you next time. Thank you for watching. Bye!